It is the Riot Podcast. Good day. Welcome to the Thursday, May 19th edition, Pizza Party Day Eve, we found.
So should we do pizza tomorrow? Or?
I would love some pizza.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't
Some
it?
breakfast pizza.
That sounds wonderful. There is, well, actually, I don't even think I put it in the podcast. There's enough other stuff. The podcast is very long today. Don't let that fool you into thinking that we had a lot of good breaks. It's just... It's a lot
Hudson just really liked everything he said. He's like, no, this has to be in there. This was a terrible break, but this has to be in there.
Sometimes we just you're like, yeah, it's pretty good. Put it in there.
But there was a couple pizza news items that we talked about, but they're not going to be in the podcast because there's just too much else stuff. But there's a pizza in New York City where they're putting Pepsi in the pepperonis. There's also coming to the frozen section of a store near you, DiGiorno fully stuffed crust pizza, which sounds amazing. And then there's also, we didn't talk about this at all, but there's a new Stranger Things frozen pizza that's supposed to be like the fictional brand of pizza
in the new
that's
series.
in the new series of Stranger Things.
Kind of like how, was it the Scoops Ahoy or the ice cream place
that's
was the
what it
last
was,
one?
right?
Because there's merch at Target and it's all got different pizza places
Surfer
on
Boy
it.
Pizza, I believe.
And then Walmart had some of the pizza. We just can't find it again.
Yeah, but that's something we would like to try if anybody happens to spot it. That'd be good for National Pizza Party Day.
I'm not sure if we're going to do anything for tomorrow, but if you're planning, guys, please let us know how you're going to celebrate Pizza Party Day tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys want to go ahead and mail or order a pizza to RadioU, you are more than welcome.
Yeah,
yet again to do
DoorDash
that. We would love for you to do that.
One time we had a listener just DoorDash us bacon, and I mean, it was a lot of bacon, and it was this really amazing, like maple sort of one.
Oh, yeah, the millionaire's bacon, right?
It was amazing. But when it first came in, I was like, I think it's just bacon. And it was. So, like, we wouldn't mind pizza.
No, we absolutely would not. And another thing that went down this morning, actually, this isn't even a new thing. This is like an everyday thing. That's just something you have to conquer, especially here at RadioU, is just almost unworkable conditions. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. It's ice cold in this room, and we're coming in here, and Hudson ended up taking something of mine because he was so cold.
I'm sorry he did that.
I know.
When
it was
you
a little
lose,
uncalled for.
If you lose Isaiah's trust, then it never will be given again.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't feel... I don't know. I feel a little bad, but I'm definitely not sorry
You're
about
not
it.
worried. You don't care.
No.
I'm just happy that you were warm enough this morning for a short period of time.
Yeah, but it was a very short period of time.
Which, I did ask Chris to turn the air up in the studio. Because even yesterday I was driving, I was listening to Nene, and he was wearing one of our crew sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Because he was cold, too.
So cold.
Oh,
we
man.
have to turn it up in
It's just
here.
funny because we all agree that it's too cold in here, yet we just do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, we just go through it.
I told Chris if he could turn it up, it is 71. He turned it up 1 degree.
Thank you, Chris.
It's
Yeah.
fixed.
Thank you.
Problem
Is it fixed,
solved.
though?
No, it's still
Feels
cold.
pretty good right now.
I don't know. I'm kind of cold still.
If we walk in tomorrow, I just want it to be just warm enough. There's that perfect temperature that you got. I've got this blanket on either way. If I'm cold underneath the blanket, that's when it's really an issue.
Yeah.
And this morning it was chilly in here.
Well, do we have anything else featuring in this podcast we should highlight, or is it all a surprise for everybody?
We also sang a little bit today.
Oh, yeah.
You can listen
I
to
love
us
that.
sing, and there's no much more you need to say about it. You can just hear us sing, and it's great.
You got any bonus tracks
What
you
if
want to
we
throw
get,
in for the
what if we get
podcast
a
only?
copyright strike because you're so good?
They're so good.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my gosh,
This episode's going to be
this
taken
cannot
down.
be aired.
Yeah.
Well, who wants to sing us into the podcast?
Another embarrassing song we know the words to. I got one. Aruba, Bahama,
my God.
come on,
geez.
pretty mama.
That is an embarrassing
Key
one.
Largo, Montego, baby, why don't... Oh, we even got Nikki singing.
That's incredible.
I'm trying to remember more words to it.
Bodies in the sand, got a cold drink in your hand.
Well, thank you guys for listening. Hopefully you stay through it even after that.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. They wouldn't just stop listening
no.
to
It's
it.
even better if you guys wait till you're in the podcast. Oh, my goodness.
Well, enjoy the podcast today. Thank you guys for listening, and we really do hope you have a wonderful day.
Enjoy.
See you guys.
Bye.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the riot.
What if I told you that you could get some free Chick-fil-A for a year?
Do you get that
Would
if
you
you're
be
like
interested?
the first person in line on an opening one or something?
Oh man, that'd be really cool, right? That is not how this is gonna go. Instead, you need to be the one to find and to return the Chick-fil-A sign to the Alcoa, Tennessee Chick-fil-A location.
Oh, someone stole it?
They don't know. Some people think it was stolen. Some people think it was blown off in a storm.
Oh.
Yeah, but the store says that one half of their double-sided sign is missing.
They say disappeared.
It's disappeared, and so they are offering free Chick-fil-A for an entire year, no questions asked. If you can bring that sign to them, they will take care of you there at that Chick-fil-A.
That means if you do the math on what the free Chick-fil-A for a year is, which is 52 digital offer cards, they're saying.
Okay.
When the sign is returned, that means that half of the sign is worth more than that. So a Chick-fil-A sign must be pretty expensive.
That's actually that's a good point. That's an expensive sign right there.
I never realized it was that much.
Of course, the first thing I think of, Nikki, is you could easily get this taken care of.
Me?
Well, any of us.
Or any of us? Okay.
I just hope somebody doesn't beat me to it.
Well, they think that it could be somewhere like at the bottom of a hill.
I know. Some people are just giving away details on the Facebook post.
So keep that to yourself.
Well, yeah, don't you want the free Chick-fil-A? But I'm going to give this away because, the Alcoa, Tennessee Chick-fil-A, it's a bit far for me. Mm-hmm. But if somebody wants to make the trek, obviously, you just steal the sign from one of the other Chick-fil-A's and give it to this Chick-fil-A. They said no questions asked.
They're not going to bother you about it. They just want the part of their sign back. They say that a storm probably blew it off. So it doesn't really look like someone stole it.
Yeah.
Unless they stole it from the bottom of the hill.
Right.
Not knowing
Which
that.
some people would
Chick-fil-A
totally do, right? You ever seen like a street sign that blows over? And a lot of people just take those. Mm-hmm. Even though they're probably, in most cases, there is a way to return that and get it put back up.
That's room decor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. People love doing that.
You walk into someone's room, you're like, is that a stop sign?
Yeah.
Where'd you get it from?
My mom and dad stole a handicap sign once.
They did?
Yeah.
Hudson's mom and dad?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It was, they were going to the movies. They were running late. The parking lot was crowded. The only spot open. They pulled into the spot, then realized, and it was a great spot, of course. And then they realized that it was a handicapped spot. The handicap sign had fallen off.
Oh,
so they put it, quick thinking, because they didn't want to miss the movie. They didn't want to be late. They put the handicap sign in their trunk and drove and forgot about it until they got home.
I am so disappointed.
I know.
Was this early Hudson's mom and dad?
Oh, yeah.
Or?
This is, I think this is pre-me.
Okay. I wasn't sure if this was more recent.
No. You know what? Maybe they've done it more recently and haven't told me.
Hey, Hudson's parents, have you been to the Tennessee area of Alcoa?
Was there a Chick-fil-A sign in your way?
Did you find something when you were trying to get a prime parking spot and take it?
You're suspects because you have a history, a criminal record.
I didn't know, so I think Hudson needs to turn you guys in.
Yeah, well, I want to go back to my idea of stealing the sign from another Chick-fil-A because that Chick-fil-A will do the same thing, and then you can just have a never-ending circle of stealing signs from Chick-fil-A, and you can eat free at Chick-fil-A for the rest of your life.
They might figure it out after a while.
You think? Why is it always Hudson that turns in the Chick-fil-A sign?
Or Hudson's parents.
Yeah.
The apple doesn't fall. The sandwich doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yes, that's right.
You're just like your mother.
I learned from the best.
So they say, again, no questions. They just want to try to find their sign that blew away probably in the storm. But Chick-fil-A is getting lots of news today because they offered, if you return it, Chick-fil-A for a year.
Well, good luck out there on your hunt for the red Chick-fil-A sign.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Good morning, Isaiah.
Good morning.
There's something I need to tell you.
He's been waiting to tell you something.
What do you need to tell me?
It brings me no pleasure to let you know this.
Oh, no.
I think it does.
He's happy. I can tell he's happy. What did you do?
No, I feel horrible about this.
What'd you do?
Your blanket has been cheating on you.
What?
You've been using my blankets?
It only happened one time. It only happened one time.
When did you use my blanket? I always am using this. I never don't have it with me.
It was a moment of weakness.
It was one of those really cold mornings?
It was today.
Oh, it was today?
I got in here, and it was so cold, and I didn't wear a jacket or anything. I'm already wearing 2 shirts. And so what else could I do? I knew a blanket was right over there.
A moment of weakness.
The warm embrace of a blanket was just a few feet away.
So Isaiah uses a blanket every day. Our studios are cold, but it feels like they're extra cold recently.
They have.
And so we're just
have
whining about it all the time. We're always cold. But Isaiah does something about it. He's got a blanket that he uses.
I can't believe that you use my blanket.
Show the blankie.
Yeah, I got this nice blanket that I always have with me. And so I can't believe this morning that you think you can just go in there and just grab my things. That's pretty wrong.
That's personal. That's a personal blanket.
I know. I could tell it smelled just like you.
Did you like the blanket?
It was actually pretty great.
Wasn't it so nice?
Your own?
It's a lot better than being cold, that's for sure.
Aw.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. When I came in this morning, if I would have looked over and just saw you cuddled up with my blanket, I think I would have been crying laughing.
Would you?
I would have been laughing.
You wouldn't
so
have stormed
hard.
in here and gotten upset?
I would have been like, "What are you doing with my things? Like, what are you thinking?"
I knew I had to return it before you got here because, but it sucked too because when I went to return, I knew you were going to be here soon. And the fan was just blowing full blast. And I was like, I really don't want to give this back. But, I don't want to take it away from you.
Maybe we do need a RadioU blanket. I know we talked about that. And I think they're going to be so expensive we can't, sell them. But if maybe I just need to get, because you can get samples for when you order things. So I need to get a few RadioU blanket samples.
Well,
some free samples.
Think about, that's a good idea.
For us.
Also, think about, we could save the money that we would need to get the blanket. We could save it by just turning up the air conditioner by just 1 or 2 degrees. Think about how much energy how much on our energy bill that would save.
I think it's just something with how the vents are in different rooms because we have a vent right outside between our two where Isaiah's studio is and ours, and it's super cold from
ice
that
cold.
vent.
Yeah.
So whenever you walk from one to the other, the cold air is blasting in. So I think we need a whole redo. We need to move buildings.
We need to do something different.
I just think we need to turn it up.
We need to do something.
There's one time that I can remember that it was too hot in here. And every day I remember it being too cold.
It's 70 in here.
I know.
I don't believe a thing that says.
That's a lie.
I do not believe a thing that thermostat says. It says 70 every day.
This week, all three of it said 70 the whole time. 3 people don't complain about it being cold when it's 70 degrees.
True. I think something's
And we are
wrong.
all complaining. So I don't know what it is. How long have I been doing the morning show? And I've never had to wear a blanket, and now I had to go get a blanket.
You had to get your blankie.
That's how
The
cold
new
I
low
was.
of lows.
Are you
You
gonna
use
wash-
my blanket.
Are you
I
gonna
know.
wash
I
it, or
sullied
is
your
it
blanket.
fine?
Oh, I'm washing it.
Does it
Washing
smell
it.
like me?
Let me smell. I think my smell is just too overpowering.
It is.
He's
for
been
waiting
having
for so
so
long.
many hot dogs lately. Does it smell like hot dogs?
Yeah, oddly enough, if this smelled like hot dogs, I would actually be upset.
That would be the end of me.
Well, it pays, I guess, to be honest. So thank you for telling Isaiah.
I didn't want it to go on behind your back. So.
No, it's okay. If you want to use my blanket in the morning, you're more than welcome. But that just means that you can't make fun of me for using the blanket.
I won't make fun of you anymore. It's too
not bad
cold.
to have.
I don't blame you at all.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Well, you know, Nikki, when you get a box of Cheez-It crackers, you can count on the cheese in those crackers to be finely aged, right?
Is it?
Yeah. They only choose the cheese that has been aged to perfection.
I'm sorry, Cheez-Its. I actually assumed it wasn't real cheese.
Oh, come on. It probably says it like 10 times on the box.
That it's real?
That it's real and that it's really finely aged cheddar. Well, they're taking the aging process to the next level with their new collaboration, the new aged by audio Cheez-Its that are made with cheese that's been aged for 6.5 months while being played hip-hop music.
While it's aging?
Yeah.
Like to just have in the room?
Uh-huh.
What a
Do you
weird-
think you can taste that?
What a weird collab.
Yeah.
Imagine being one of the workers. Like, are we really waiting 6 months with this music
right.
and doing all that?
It just keeps on playing. You
While
hear it in the
you're-
other room.
You're waiting for the cheese to age.
Yeah, it's a new collaboration with Pandora. What year is it?
Oh, Pandora's still a thing?
Uh-huh.
No.
I mean, there has to be a few people that use it, but out of all the...
It's still around?
Yeah.
I thought that was the bracelet people.
Oh, yeah.
Is that also Pandora?
Yeah.
Who's the bracelet, like the charms?
No, yeah, it's definitely, that's what it is.
But
yeah.
there's also a music thing.
Yeah, I was going to say it used to be a music thing. It still is. It was the thing before Spotify.
Wow.
And I guess the thing that still after Spotify as well that is collaborating with Cheez-Its. So if you want to try the Cheez-It and Pandora aged by audio crackers, you have to go to CheezItHQ.com starting May 26th.
You buy them there
at noon Eastern. That means at noon Eastern and only at noon Eastern. At noon 01, they will be gone.
Yeah, the bots will get them.
Yeah.
They say there was a small-scale Swiss study with Swiss cheese suggesting that aging cheese from hip-hop music could strengthen the taste and smell.
Oh, yeah,
So
sure.
they wonder if you'll be able to notice a difference of a stronger Cheez-It taste with this collaboration.
Well, I would be happy to try it, but can you just, how do you age cheese?
It just sits there.
It just sits. And it doesn't get like bacteria on it, or is that what ages it?
Well, I mean, do they...
Because then I just let cheese sit, it gets all moldy.
Yeah, but this one's like in a rind, right? Like a big wheel of cheese.
Is that how it is? Or is that just how we imagine it?
I imagine. It's a big wheel of cheese with like, those baby bells, but big.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And so it just sits there.
And there's like a Dutchman churning something?
Yep.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, and
It's in a mill?
It is. It's in like Switzerland or something. It's in a sealed room.
That's how they do it.
And then on the other side, they have like that aged salami and stuff.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
I think
And then
that's how they
6
do it.
months later, you get he like cracks it open with a knife or something.
Yeah, and they take the bad layer off or whatever, and then there's your
They
aged
peel it
cheese.
off. I don't believe any of this is accurate.
You don't think
at
we
all.
got anything?
No, it's probably in some kind of there's machinery involved and stuff. It's in a white room with lab coats. There's none of what we said is accurate.
Well,
but
they said if you do get a box, it's discernibly stronger smell and stronger, fruitier taste for the Cheez-Its.
I'll believe it when I never get to try it.
Well, we're not. We'll never remember this after it.
Definitely not. There's no chance. Even if we were ready and waiting, we would not get it.
So Cheez-Its HQ, that's their headquarters website, starting on the 26th.
Their collaboration with Pandora.
Weird.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Everybody else wants to chime in on this one. I love this question. I'm so excited. The question is, what is the most embarrassing song you know all the words to?
What an odd question.
Obviously, on Radio U, we make a habit of listening only to good music.
And that's not embarrassing music.
No, there's nothing embarrassing about
you mean
Radio
outside
U.
of that?
But come on, we all have. There's some songs you know the words to that you don't want to admit.
Gosh.
But now it's time to admit it.
Yeah, you have to figure out what is it.
Now it's time to come forward.
Yeah, to come clean.
Songs that we're embarrassed that we know, but we all know. So Hudson, you asked the question. I assume you'll probably start it out.
Oh, I was gonna go last because mine is it's so good.
It's so good.
bad.
His
It's so
answer's
good, it's
always
bad.
so good. He's like, I probably should go
Yeah.
last so I can wrap it up in a fantastic way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, would it count if we know like Disney songs?
Oh, yeah.
Are those embarrassing?
well,
they can be.
Some of them can be.
Like what?
Well, just pick any
The
of
racist
them.
ones or
Oh, jeez.
No.
I don't think
What do
that's
you
what
know?
you're referring
The
to.
songs from the Song of the South or whatever?
No, I just mean if like every Disney hit comes out and you can still remember all the words to all the Frozen songs.
I don't think that's that embarrassing. I mean, they're made for children, but come on.
It's okay to know them.
Yeah.
I think I would choose something along those lines of a movie song.
Okay. Isaiah, you got
See,
one?
for me, I think it just kind of throws back to like early 2000s pop, you know? It's kind of where
that's
I
embarrassing for sure.
Yeah, when I think of like...
What, like NSYNC?
Yeah, that is like...
Do you know all the words to NSYNC? Any NSYNC songs?
See, the first one that came to my mind, actually similar to NSYNC, is I Want It That Way. We all know that one. You are
Oh no!
my fire.
Oh my gosh.
It's
So, yeah.
Actually
embarrassing.
nailing it.
Yeah, that one. That's one of the ones that when it comes on, everybody knows. I think other ones, because there's so many times in your life when you use different music. You know, if you're sad, if you're happy, depending on what you're going through. Everybody knows like 1,000 Miles by Vanessa Carlton. That's like an obvious one, right?
You're so funny.
I don't
What are
think
you
that's
talking
that
about?
embarrassing. It's a beautiful
That's a great song.
It's a beautiful song.
And I need you, da-da-da-da-da-da, and I miss you, da-da-da-da-da-da.
And he knows the words.
Yeah.
There it is. There it
wonder.
Actually, I will tell you, Isaiah is shockingly, amazingly good with lyrics because he'll just hum and sing a lot of times, even if he doesn't realize it. And you always know all the words.
Yeah, after you sit in the radio station all day and it's constantly playing over and over again.
It gets in there.
It just gets engraved into your brain. But yeah, those are probably the two songs I would say are the most embarrassing. Of the two, I would say 1,000 Miles for me is just more embarrassing because of the overall consensus of what the lyrics actually mean. It's just a sad song. And so when you just sit in your car cruising by yourself,
oh my
you're
gosh.
like, I would walk 1,000 miles.
But don't you I thought I remember you telling me your mom likes like country music.
Yeah. See,
so don't you know a lot of weird stuff? No offense if you like country music.
Yeah. So, I mean, what's embarrassing to different people, it means different things. But for me, I'm not a country fan now.
But she made you
Well, I guess I never really was a country fan, but I just became, so all the country music became so ingrained in me as a child because that's what my mom drove around listening to. So, and my mom's a Canadian. Listening to country all the time. She's a woman, so
she's a woman.
Shania Twain.
I knew that.
Honey, I'm home and I've had a hard day. Pour me a cold one, and oh, by the way, rub my feet, get me something to eat.
No.
Stop! That's in your head.
Yeah, it's the plight of the working woman.
Does your mom still listen to all that? Is that like her thing?
I don't think so.
Does she listen to Celine Dion, or is it just Shania Twain?
No, that doesn't seem like my mom. But no, it's not just Shania Twain though, and she has a lot of hits, by the way. Any man of mine better walk the line. I could go for days on that.
No. That's
okay.
funny.
I think we believe you that you know the rest of the lyrics. We don't need you to move forward with any more.
Wow.
There's definitely a lot of Shania Twain, but a lot of the country from that time.
Why don't you go back?
Country is just embarrassing to me.
Do you ever go back and say blame your mom for your problems, and it's because of the country music?
It's because of the music she put me through. All of my issues are chalked up to how much Shania Twain and Garth Brooks I heard when I was 8-year-old.
See, I don't think country's that embarrassing. I feel like it's not that.
Not even Any Man of Mine, though.
See, what you're singing, I do think that's embarrassing. Yes, the way you're singing it, that's also embarrassing. But I feel like the sad heartbreak songs are always the most embarrassing.
Why?
I feel like those are just like when you're singing, like when I would feel the most embarrassed if I'm singing those out loud. Like, you really know all the words to these? I'm like, unfortunately, I do.
Yeah, you've been through enough heartbreak in your life.
Oddly enough, I do.
That just shows you're comfortable with your emotions. You know how to handle it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you win out of all of us.
Yeah,
you have the most embarrassing songs in your head.
It's in some strange way very on brand, though, that I know. But you know what the weird thing about that, though, is that I didn't listen to those songs for 20 years. And then you pick them back up, you hear them again, you're like, oh, I know all the words to this.
You still remember
I have not heard it for a moment for 20 years. Still get it. Still know
every
the words.
time. It can come on and you just immediately know that you know every single
You're back to Baby Hudson.
Yeah.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
Now, Nikki, you were saying that with us being on video all of the time now, you wanted some fashion advice or something like that?
No, I just feel like, do any of you guys feel like we have to come to work prepared better, or like not wearing the same thing, or like we just now have to worry about, it's another layer. We're normally in radio, you didn't have to care at all.
Come as you are.
Come as you are, and because you guys, wouldn't usually be able to see us, but now with social media and our video podcast, I feel like now we should care.
There's a little bit of pressure now.
Yeah.
Which is not great for us, at least. It was a lot more fun when I could wear the exact same crew neck every single day.
I know, and now it's not fair anymore.
We don't just have to entertain with our words. We also have to entertain with our outfits. Is that what you're saying?
But then I feel like I don't like to go into stores, but I realize you sometimes have to with clothes.
Yeah.
But I just want them to appear, like some shirts, just some t-shirts.
Some new stuff.
Yeah, just some stuff to appear, but I don't want to have to go and shop.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think I could find the kind of t-shirts I wear at a store.
Do you
What
wear
kind of shirts
graphics
are you wearing?
and flannels or what? It's all
You can find those shirts places.
Not the kind
I mean, they wouldn't be nearly as worn as that is. I mean, unless you went to Goodwill or something. But if you want to find some new stuff.
It's vintage.
Vintage.
Yeah.
The vintage look. I know that's very in right now. Yeah, for me, I like going and getting new clothes. I've been kind of fevering as of late for some new summer clothes because I feel that I am not prepped and ready to be able to go like outside and go to events and stuff and hang out with my friends. I'm not going to be dressed appropriately because I've been rocking long sleeves for so long now. When it's
Still
warm
have long
out, I know
sleeves.
I have a long sleeve on right now, but and also with like the camera still, it's funny because like before when you're on the radio, like you don't really have to think about like expressing or anything, and I think I naturally do like a little bit just because I'm just kind of wild sometimes, but when the cameras are on, it just enhances it just a little bit more. You have so much more freedom to do whatever you want, so they can actually see you.
Hand movements, and you got to be dressed nicely.
Yes, exactly.
Do you see the pressure this brings on us, guys?
I know.
I don't know if this is good for our health.
It's not all fun and games doing this, is it?
No.
So what kind of clothes are you guys gonna get to
I don't know.
update for the show?
I don't really want to, but I feel like we need to. And by we, I mean I, but we're all in this show together. So if we all want to work at it, we can.
What do you guys concern yourself now that we're on video with like what if you're either way underdressed or overdressed compared to the other two of us?
Oh, like comparing?
Yeah.
No, I think we all have different styles.
We
Yeah.
do, but what if one day we just so happen to two of us coordinate and the other one is left
You
out?
want to all match every day?
I don't know.
match.
I feel like I don't. When I come in, I'm not like I wonder if Hudson looks nice today. Oh my gosh! Hopefully he didn't dress up. Or the same thing with Nikki too. I feel like our styles are all so different that we wouldn't really be able to tell.
I don't know. What if Nikki comes in like a really nice blouse and I've got a sharp button up and then over there you are underdressed looking like you just came from the gym or something?
In my mind, that's actually not something I think I'll ever worry about getting ready in the morning. Is if you guys are going to be dressed up to the nines.
Then you're not thinking about the show, and we need to change our mentality.
Hey, I'm the one. I'm ready to roll with some new clothes in here. I just think that for me, my fashion trends or tips, I guess, I just don't feel like that they coordinate with your guys' fashion at all. Same thing. Nikki can't really give me fashion tips because oddly enough, we wear very different clothes.
Except when you wear the exact same hoodie.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's
Well, yeah.
different.
I mean, if you've noticed, the hoodie, I haven't worn a hoodie since this whole thing started because now I feel if I'm wearing a hoodie that I'm underdressed.
Well, if you, I don't know, I'm always on the lookout if you guys have any relaxed. Actually, the only good thing, too, is we only have to worry about waist up.
That's right. We can wear.
I've got a blanket on the bottom half of my body, so.
So at least it's not as bad as like if you guys go into work and you have like workwear. But if you guys have any ideas for any good T-shirt places.
Yeah, as far as anybody knows, we're all in our boxers. So
We're not, just to clarify.
we could be.
We're not in our
You'll never be able to see to find out.
Well, thanks to our video podcast. Actually, no, we're going to never show
Yeah,
that.
we're still
Yeah.
sitting down and there's a desk. So
Well, if you guys have any ideas, that's something we have to think about now.
8772 Radio U.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
Nikki, if I asked you what an Alabama jumper is, what would you think? What would you think that is?
Is that a someone who jumps bail or like a overall set?
What
Skips bail?
skips prison? Is that what
I
you're talking
don't know.
about?
They skip
leave the
out on it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Or overalls.
overalls,
Oh
like
my
it's
gosh.
because or a sweater is sometimes called a jumper. So is it like a sweater?
Is not that's a UK thing, right?
Okay.
Actually,
not
like
know what
Alabama jumper, that would be.
Is it moonshine?
That'd be like overalls, but you're not wearing a shirt. Is probably what.
It's a camo jumper.
Is it moonshine? Anything from that has Alabama in the name, sure, it could be moonshine. But what if I said it's also known as a Jersey Wriggler?
A what?
Alabama jumper, aka Jersey Wriggler.
I'm still thinking drinks, but I don't know outside of that.
It is actually a kind of worm.
It's a worm?
Uh-huh.
Weird. Why do worms have names like that?
Well, I guess they're in Alabama jumping around.
There's just different names for them.
It's technically actually known as the Asian jumping worm, but it is making its way from Asia, Alabama, and Jersey. If it ever was in any of those places, I don't know, but it's now making its way into California.
Mm-hmm.
It is invading California, and researchers, scientists, experts are getting very concerned
About this worm?
because they say these earthworms are extremely active, aggressive, and have voracious appetites. So it looks like they're particularly concerned as the population continues to grow in like Napa County with the wine and stuff like that. that the worms are going to eat everything up, and they're really hard to control because they thrash violently like a rattlesnake when they're handled. They can jump a foot in the air.
No.
A worm that can jump a foot in the air. This sounds like an Onion story, but this is a real story.
I'm actually watching video of it. Those things are weird.
Yeah.
We don't need any other problems.
It says, according to the U.S. Forest Service, they say jumping worms can eat all of it. They are never satisfied.
Weird.
So they're going to get in there and affect all of California's crops is what now people are getting concerned about, especially when you're talking about the wine industry and whatever else we grow in California.
So how does that happen? If they're like in Alabama, all right, did they bring their jumping worms to California for a vacation?
Right? I don't know.
How do they travel from Alabama? How do they get in to become an invasive species in California?
Like fruit shipments or something, and they're sneaking in or something like that.
Yeah.
But I've got a solution. What's one of the main plants you think of? One of the main crops in California?
Avocados.
Okay, after that.
Apples.
Next.
I don't know outside of that. Grapes.
No.
Okay,
Nikki, you ever heard of being California sober?
What else is there?
That California sober is when you don't drink, but you are high.
Oh, yes. Okay, weed.
Yes. So these worms are so aggressive, I'm
sorry.
They're going
I'm so
crazy.
innocent. I was actually thinking produce.
Right. What if you get these worms into the weed crops, the marijuana crops? Maybe it'll mellow them out a bit.
They won't jump at all.
They won't be so active and aggressive. Although they already say they can eat everything. It's going to give the worms the munchies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be an issue. But I don't know. I'm just trying to think of some kind of solution. I guess then there's also not as much weed to go around for everybody. But I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something here to curb the Alabama jumper population in California.
It's just very odd to think there's a lot of issues going on of things that we just don't know.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that the invasive jumping worm was a thing.
Yeah, you got to watch out. So I guess if you see any, that gives
I'll step on 'em.
the excuse. But watch out. They might jump at you.
They'll get you.
Yeah.
This is The Riot. Radio U.
I highly recommend checking out the Instagram this morning or the Twitter and Facebook as well for Radio U, because you will see. Have you seen it, Isaiah?
Did you see what someone posted? It's us for the show. It's us. It's us.
It's a meme. It's a meme. It's a funny
what's the meme from? Do you know?
I don't know. I've
that's from
recognized
Hercules, isn't it?
Is
Something
it?
like
Is that
that.
from
It's
Hercules?
like I think it's some sort of like ancient Greek god thing, isn't
In
it?
Hercules,
With the three-headed monsters.
Yeah, in Hercules, it's purple. So I don't think it's from
You're right.
Hercules.
Well, if you don't mind heading over to Radio U Official on Instagram, it is the three of us, a interpretation of us.
As if we're a three-headed monster.
A very interesting interpretation.
I love you so much. Oh my gosh.
Very interesting.
Do you not like your monster?
Yeah, you know, like the head you got
Well, it
chosen?
just seems as
for you?
if my monster doesn't look the same as yours.
Mine looks
Well, that's
evil.
the joke, Isaiah.
I know that's the joke, all right? And your guys' monsters look very serious, very
I know.
intimidating. If
Sinister.
I
And
had
yours-
to describe my monster, he looks kind of dumb.
Dopey?
Dopey, dumb, goofy.
Yeah, Isaiah, it's funny because it's true.
You shut your mouth when you talk to me. Listen, okay, I don't know why I'm being made out as some fool when I say intelligent things on this show every single day.
True.
But
That
as
is
we
true.
look at this, it's not a good look for me. I think there are portions of it that may be true, but I think you two look way too intimidating in that.
Well, I think that's what highlights and makes yours look
Looks so much worse.
Yeah.
so much worse. So I think you should go to Radio U Official and go to our Instagram. And again, it's the riot interpretation in monster sort of snake form.
Yeah.
And just see if you agree with Isaiah, the one that he was chosen as his monster.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that one's
And
definitely.
that's how
there's
Nene
just-
sees you. Just to
Right.
let you
I know,
That
exactly.
that was Nene.
That was
Well,
Nene who did that.
I might have paid him.
You
I put him up
shut your
to
mouth.
it.
I think you all should go there and just comment and say accurate or inaccurate on the depiction of the three of us, as I would argue highly inaccurate. If I had to describe myself as anything, maybe the most intelligent on the show.
Okay,
Well,
so
wait a
then out of the
minute.
3 monsters, which one do you think of us should have been your monster then?
Oh, who should have been me?
Who should have been
Yeah,
the
who
goofy
should
one?
have been-
That's
the
a
goofy
good
one?
question. I think we all show times of stupidity. Some more than others. I won't look at myself. But I think that if I had to throw someone else in there, I don't know if I could argue that somebody else should have been that one. But, I just don't
So,
like. The
it's
graphic
accurate
as a
then.
whole might just be inaccurate.
I don't know about that.
Well, I
think
love it. It's my favorite.
It's like in The Lion King, they have the 3 hyenas,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the one that doesn't talk, and he's like, that's the Isaiah one in this meme. You're
This
Ed.
is ridiculous.
You're Ed.
I am not Ed.
And I'm Cheech Marin, and
I'm the other one.
And Nikki's Whoopi Goldberg.
There we go.
Yeah, I think.
you're Ed.
I think this is wrong. I think that yet again, my skills on the show are shown prove that
We're
I am
not
not
appreciating
I am not
you.
some goofball dummy that's just on here to crack stupid jokes. I think I bring an intelligent aspect to the show.
Remember that time you thought oysters were plants?
And I still stand by that to this day. I still stand by that. There's so many comments I made. I still stand by today. That's one of the
Every
main ones.
single one. Well, please go over to Radio U Official. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, and you can see the graphic there and see how accurate you think it is.
Yeah, leave a comment and definitely leave the laughing reaction.
It already
on the
has a
Facebook.
lot of likes in such a
Yeah.
short
Oh,
amount
I'm
of
sure
time.
it does. I'm sure they love that one.
Blowing up.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.